This network has been hammering this since day one, whereas the other networks have accepted the premise that this is one of those hoax things that conservatives just get all upset about. But the real difference between Fast and Furious and Wide Receiver was the RFID chips. The idea behind the Bush program was to track the guns, not just let them disappear.
That's right.
We just spoke about this in the green room. There were no chips.
There were no chips. They weren't tracking anything. And that's what's so incredible to us, is that nobody's even looked into this.
You know, if you really want to catch these guys, you follow the money. You don't give them guns. And now these guns are being used to kill innocent people. They're being used to kill government officials. There's still 14, how many guns that are out there right now?
Yeah, there are, I think 1,400
guns that are still unaccounted for. And yet the ATF says right now that, listen, they're still going to turn up. You know, just prepare
and we may find them at crime scenes. This is what they're saying. We may find them at crime scenes. They're still going to turn up. But nobody's asking any real questions here. What about the drug cartel leaders? And we've been talking about this for a long time. Here you have, you know, ATF possibly working also is the FBI and the DEA on other operations. As we know, ATF agent Dodson just released a book with some explosive information that possibly the FBI and DEA were also involved in this whole setup where Brian Terry was killed, right? And so now you have guns moving into Mexico. You have a Border Patrol agent that's dead. You have an increase in severe national security crisis in Mexico, where over 60,000 people have lost their lives since the start of the drug cartel war, including people here in the United States. I mean, this is not just about Mexico. And nobody's going after Chapo Guzman. Nobody's going after Los Zetas. Nobody's going after La Familia. Nobody's going after Beltran Leyva.
And nobody's going after anybody in the Obama administration. Nobody's held accountable for this yet.
We were calling it Intimidate on this network. The Benghazi, IRS, and Fast and Furious. Nobody has been fired.
Nobody.
Lois Lerner has been able to walk out the door in the IRS thing, but nobody's been fired.
No.
Nobody's held accountable here.
Well, right there, I think that says something to you. I think that sends a message. And what we really needed, this is going to be coming up this year, is that we have to hope that there's a judge taking a look at this, that he's going to open up those documents, that we're going to be able to see what it is that Obama wanted to cover up. If we get those documents, then I think maybe we'll learn what we need to know.
I think maybe we'll get some answers, but that's if. That's if those become unsealed. And we just have to hope that they will be unsealed. There's a good chance that they won't get unsealed. Look what happened to the family of Brian Terry.
Yeah.
I mean, they basically just shut the door on them. Oh, sorry, we're sorry your son's dead. But this was just part of his job. And we think this is just something that just happened. It's not intentional. No, it is intentional. When you're involved, when the ATF is involved in moving weapons to drug cartels, when there's a possibility that the FBI was working with the DEA on an operation there, that they even may have sent their informants to pick up this drug load, and Brian Terry lost his life, somebody has to answer for that. We can't just let our government run amok. I mean, people have to hold people responsible.
All right, let me get into Chris Christie.